Today we are learning to think and act like artists. We're practicing the printmaking process today. Our goals today are to make good color choices and to use just the right amount of ink and an even layer. If we have too much ink, your lines will be filled in, and if there's not enough ink, your print will come out fuzzy. We need just the right amount of ink and an even layer. The printmaking process has two parts. The first part is inking the plate, like this. And the second part is pulling the print, like this. Roll on the back with the pulling brayer. And now it's time to pull the print. Out of the 6 tables in the art room, only 4 of them will have the inking tools. That's the metal tray, the brayer, and the tube of ink. Those are sun table, comet table, planet table, and star table. You're not allowed to take the tools away from those tables. They have to stay there. If your table doesn't have the color of ink that you want, you have to get up and move to the table that has the color you want and work there. 2 of the tables in the room are for pulling the print. Those are the tables that have the racks of paper. That's rocket ship table and moon table. Please keep these racks of paper clean and organized. If you see a sheet of paper that's in the wrong spot, please take it out and move it to the right spot. When you're ready to pull your print and you need the paper, you'll have to move to either moon table or rocket ship table to pull your print. Our inking tables have 2 different colors of ink. Don't make both sets of tools the same color. You need 1 set of tools for each color. We need to make good color choices today. You can use any color of ink that you want, but you need to choose the best color of paper to accentuate your ink. Do not use red ink on red paper. Your print won't show up. Don't use orange ink on orange paper. Your print won't show up. The same with green ink on green paper. Your print won't show up. Your paper needs to be a different color than your ink. This poster can help you choose colors. The poster shows how each ink looks with different colors of paper. Here is how to ink the plate. Take your tube of ink and apply about this much ink. If you're not sure how much you need, use less than you think because you can always add more later. Now, take the brayer and use the brayer to roll out the ink. We are covering the tray and the roller part of the brayer with a layer of ink. Here is how you can tell when your ink is ready. You can tell when the ink is ready because you'll see a design like fish scales or tree bark in the ink. You can also tell when your ink is ready because you'll hear a noise like radio static. If you don't see the fish scale pattern and if you don't hear the radio static noise, you either need to add more ink to the tray or take a paper towel and wipe some of the ink off if you have too much. Now, place your styrofoam printmaking plate on the newspaper and roll across the plate. Go back and re-ink and continue. Even though we've covered the entire styrofoam printmaking plate, we're going to go back and add a second coat. So re-ink your brayer. If you can't see the fish scales anymore, you may need to take the tube of ink and add more. It's very important to do the second coat of ink. If you don't do it, your print won't come out well because you won't have an even layer of ink. Don't let anyone rush you, even if people are waiting to use the brayer. Make sure you take the time to do your second layer of ink. When you're done inking the plate, leave the brayer for the next person by resting the handle on the upright piece of metal so it won't get dirty. Don't forget, if your table doesn't have the color of ink that you want, you'll have to take your plate and move to the table that does have the color of ink you want and use it there. Now we're ready to pull the print. We need to pick up our styrofoam printmaking plate and move to one of the pulling tables that has the assortment of paper. Let's choose a color of paper to use with this green ink. Remember, we can't use the same color of paper as the ink that we used. We need to pick something much different to accentuate the ink. Take a sheet of paper and a pulling brayer. The pulling brayers have a raindrop handle and they do not get dirty. Now, take your styrofoam printmaking plate and center it on your sheet of paper. Please don't put it on crooked. We'll center it and press using the pulling brayer. Now we're ready to pull the print. There it is. Also, try not to get the edge of the paper dirty. You'll need to pull the print quickly because the ink can dry on your styrofoam printmaking plate very fast. You don't need to write your name on the back of your print because your name is on the back of your styrofoam printmaking plate and your print matches your plate. Now, take your print and move it to the drying rack and you can repeat the process. You'll need to re-ink your styrofoam printmaking plate and print it again. And this time, you can try a different color of paper so that your print will look different. Don't forget to make good color choices. Happy printing and have fun, kids!